Okay, everybody, it's me, Joey, here on the channel. Excellent. So, if you're just gonna give me a second here, I just gotta set the show up as per usual. I'm all alone right now. Brandon will be coming later tonight. He's doing the what do they do? It's like a street party at the radio station he works for hosts. So he will be with us probably in time for his general segment. So I'm just setting up everything so I can let the world know that we are live right now. And there's tons to talk about. There's been tornadoes all over the place this week in Canada. And still storms going on in Ontario right now. There was some doozies that were pretty close to my mom's place today. So I was watching that like a hawk and letting her and other people out there know what's going on, because I'm always concerned that there's going to be a tornado hit my mom's place. Still storm is going on. Boom. Okay, cool. Live stream is working. Check. Next step is to make sure everyone in the world knows. So here, I'll share this with you, seeing as I can. This is Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. Cool. This is the group I run on Facebook, and we got 18.2 thousand members. So I've been at it for a while, about 10 years now, actually. And I think we're celebrating 10-year anniversary sometime now. I've never officially announced it, but 10 years. So where was I here? Try to do the best we can. So here's the link for the show. We're up and running. And there's the image this week. It's a tornado man. And here's a map of tornado distribution in Canada. There's a rumor that Ontario is the new tornado. I think everything's shifted. So Ontario is the new tornado alley for certain, they're saying this week. I saw in some articles. Just like there's new areas in the States where tornadoes are happening. And I've noticed even in BC, thunderstorm activities changed a little bit. So here we go. I'm going to share this to my own thing, and then I'm going to make sure everybody in the group here knows this is our group chat, that everybody who might come on the show, because we never really know exactly what's going on, everybody who might come on the show can see us there. Okay, so let's start looking at stuff right now. Let's review today to begin with. So big story today has been all of this. And we'll just wait for it to refresh and we'll let it play out. And I wish I could change the speed of it. For some reason on my phone I can do it, but I can't. So here is how storms rolled through today. And stop and have a look. These guys that passed through Northern Ontario were very, very violent. They might have produced some tornadoes. These guys that moved into Quebec may have produced some tornadoes. We did later in the day have tornado warnings in Parry Sound. And here's this guy that came through this afternoon. This one was the one that concerned me. It passed pretty close to my mother's place. And then on its way east, we'll watch it for a second here. On its way east, it looked like it was going to challenge people I know. I have an ex-girlfriend who lives still in this area here somewhere up in north of Seven Country. But then the storm just kind of got sucked into this line. Something happened there and it kind of stalled out and died. And then we had this sort of whole new line that formed in behind. And it's right now moving across Ontario and just producing a crazy amount of lightning. So here's sort of the whole day. Here's sort of the whole day. I didn't want to zoom out that much. This is why I can't have nice things. So there we go. Now we do have very large storms happening in the United States right now as we speak too. So it looked like down in Illinois, sort of approaching the Chicago area, Iowa, that was breaking out. So as that low pushed into Quebec, all kinds of hell broke loose, and it's pulling in obviously cold air from the north, and you got warm and humid air mass colliding, and terrific tornado outbreak potential. So there's probably we'll find that there is a bunch that landed on the ground here today, as well as when that low passed through Manitoba yesterday, it produced some tornadoes on the ground, possibly up to 5. And Brandon will have to tell us what happened on Tuesday in Alberta, but we know there is strong thunderstorms, so that low kind of rocketed across the country, and it's done all kinds of wild things on its way. And we just sort of zoom out here for a second. Look where BC is headed. We'll let this refresh because it's dial-up internet here or something. I don't know. So here we go. We got this low, and it's going to slap into BC tomorrow, and it's going to provide us with some stories. We could have a look. Actually, let's just go to weather radar right now and have a quick peek at. Oh, someone's coming, and I can't see who. Hopefully that worked. So here's where our storms are right now in Ontario. See, now I can choose the speed. Just had this sort of tail. I paid a little bit of attention, but it's kind of more developed after it moved past my mom's place. So she's probably getting a lot of this lightning right now and whatnot through that belt that's sort of running kind of up Highway 7, 417 to Peterborough, and until you get to about Madoc almost, and then it starts to kind of jut north. But that's what's going on. These guys look a little bit more organized. They're a little angrier in behind. We'll have a look at that in a second too. But here's boom. Here's thunderstorm outlook. We'll zoom out one spot more and we'll just push play. Has anyone else from the show, did I let you in, or did I accept you, or did I decline you? Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Mike. Good. I wasn't sure. I couldn't, because how the bar is here. I couldn't see if who I was letting in or if I actually hit the right thing. Friday.
Yeah, I managed to get in okay, but
There we go.
I'll wait till everyone else shows up before I interact a little bit more. I'm just not really in a chatty mood today.
Fair enough. Then, okay. So here's where things are going. I will go back Friday for all of us in BC. Obviously, these are going to be the strong ones down in the States. Alberta might see something a little better.
I did want to mention there is a severe weather potential on Saturday in southern Manitoba. I had a look, and latest data looks like southeast Manitoba might get some during the afternoon, and then southwest Manitoba mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. Models are all over the place. It just seems the RAP model, RDPS, and NEM all show convection in the southeast during the afternoon.
We more or less have a replay of Tuesday on kind of happening, right?
Yeah, with southeast possibly too. Getting in the afternoon some maybe marginally severe storms, but I don't see anything like overly severe. It's weird because NamNest and HRR models aren't showing that. It's another thing about dealing with summer convection. It's always difficult to forecast.
Well, it pops up where it wants to pop up. Whatever localized things sometimes trigger it to get started.
Lake breezes are really good for that, especially in this neck of the woods.
But it's more or less the same story. We had a low develop, pop in off the coast, rush through BC into Alberta, then come through further sections of the prairies through the weekend now. But it's kind of a repeat, and it's going to do the same sort of thing to Ontario. I mean, not in the exact same locations necessarily where things happen this week, but it's sort of a repeat of the same, more or less the same thing that's just happened. So that's what we're looking forward to. And look at that, cold air in BC. What's that? Possible snow on the mountaintops? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. I'm going to stop this for a second because the very thing you were mentioning, where do I got it here? No. Severe weather coming into the prairies this weekend. Here's convective available potential energy. You see some of that, like a blob of it fires up into the prairies in time for Saturday. So that's Saturday, Sunday, something to look forward to for Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba. And then you watch, it's going to more or less work its way into Ontario. Big storm outbreak, boom. It's kind of a repeat of what's just happened, sort of. More or less. And it wants to just, yeah, we're into storm season for sure. Isn't that exciting?
One of the things about the models after about 2 or 3 days out, accuracy goes down after 7 days. I think Mark Ingles was saying that 14 days out, that's kind of when it just get like you generally get an idea of what the temperature pattern is going to be like. Nothing, you won't be able to tell severe weather at least 7 days past the 7 day mark. So that's why it's like get surprised if your weather event. So like, oh geez, 364 hours out, the GFS was showing a big supercell event, and then that completely disappears. But then you get like a supercell event on a completely different day than that was forecast. So
Yeah,
weird.
that goes without saying. 48 hours we're real confident on. Get to 100 mark, pretty good. Start looking, 5 days out. 7 days, well, more or less. But you can't be. These isn't exact always, right? But here's okay. So here's a 500 millibar height. That's 18,000 feet at bottom of the jet stream. Possibly maybe a little higher depending on the day. But here we go. Look at the forecast. See another storm coming off BC, coming through the prairies, whipping up into the north. It looks a lot like what it looked like 5 days ago. So it's sort of a pattern that's going on right now, right? Jet streams, not allowing the heat to fully get into Canada yet. And we're getting severe weather on the edge of that. Warmer weather the United States has been blessed with. Tomorrow in British Columbia, we're looking nice. I'm looking forward to this. Potentially in the Caribou, we could be in this F zone here. Williams Lake maybe looking good. So this was pretty good on Tuesday. When Monday we looked at this and more or less that's kind of what happened the next day, right? So could see some pretty big size hail. Right, I'm not sure what this 8 to 8 means, so I'm a little confused by that, but sure, 8 to 8 in the windsock. I think it might mean something else different, but look at this. Quite a variety of different conditions they're sort of expecting, right, throughout the province and up to the Yukon. Different storms will be doing different sorts of things. So
I think maybe they meant 80 to 90 kilometer hour winds or 80 kilometer hour winds.
I would suspect if we're looking at larger hail, we're probably looking at pounding winds. And you see in this B region, which surrounds, we got 68 to 80. So
yeah, so that's probably about 80 to 90 or 90 to 100.
So we're looking at this general area of the Caribou and into the North Thompson, perhaps into Revelstoke, Monashees, maybe. seeing pretty strong weather with the focus being Williams Lake and east northeastward towards Vale Mount. That's up where Robson Valley is, up here, Robson Peak. So even on the coast, we might see some thunderstorm activity. So look forward to that. If you're in the north end of Vancouver Island, maybe Bella Coola areas up to Prince Rupert, you might see some flashy up there. This is
Well, it's
nothing
really
new.
interesting. They're getting thunderstorms all the way up by Dawson.
That's been a consistent thing I've been noticing for the last, I'd like to say 5 years, maybe a little longer. I've been noticing that the lightning detectors going off up there pretty consistently. Lightning detector 135.1 K.
Was that an app you use? Because I use Lightning Tracker.
Uh-huh. Yeah, west of Williams Lake. So I got a little cell right now in the Caribou at present, but that's sort of out in the towards the 100 road, out in the netherworld. So here's looking at BC tomorrow. Exciting, and that's one of the more exciting things. And look at Alberta. Boom. What's this C thing here near Edmonton? So we got possibilities, some funnel clouds, tornadoes, and whatnot. Repeat show of Tuesday and forward, right? So maybe a little different locations, but some of the same kinds of weather we're seeing, right? And some of this is maybe a little, like some of these set 90. Brandon will tell you that we had pretty wild winds get recorded in the prairies this week. So that's sort of looking at tomorrow. I'm sure when you wake up tomorrow, they'll have a fresh map. I like that this new site and the way they're doing things. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Anything in the Northwest Territories? Yeah, maybe a little bit of lightning up there. And, not so much for Ontario. The show is over tonight. Anyways, seeing as the show is over for tonight, we are missing that said show. Let's have a look. There we go. Here's our current locations. So right through Madoc, Ontario, right through up to Caladar, up Highway 7 through Arden, Charlotte Lake. Love that drive. That's my home country, of course, right? So earlier today, that storm that was very strong just south of Bancroft and whipped through, luckily, a fairly lowly populated area of Ontario, and may or may not have produced a tornado. Some of the radar images were pretty exceptional at the time. So, but yeah, nothing crazy is going on now. We have obviously a lot of lightning. I want to have a look at this here. 5 tornadoes, I think, in Manitoba this week, Mike. So we got severe thunderstorm warnings on these guys still, and they are producing a wicked amount of lightning. There it is. Sort of a pretty nice.
Yeah, I was actually looking over some of the photos they took when they were chasing, and they said that they saw one out by Birtle, another one by Swan Lake First Nation, another one by Bruxelles, and there was another one that was northwest of Morden and Winkler. And they said there was another one by Carberry. So yeah, that's outbreak level.
I would say, and I would think we'll probably see similar totals come from today in Ontario and into Quebec.
How many do they have so far?
I haven't seen anything official yet, but I mean some of those couplets we saw on radar today, like there was enough of that one of them had to have dropped something for sure. Yeah, you just can't have.
They had a confirmed tornado touchdown northeast of Dryden, from what I heard earlier this week or last week, I
I
think.
did see that as well. Right now through Mohawk, through Tyendinaga First Nation, a little bit of lightning going on there, right on Highway 7. So that's nice. This secondary little line is kind of, really, we can hit play here and have a look back. In fact, this is cool.
Is that radar scope you're using?
Absolutely. So there's that secondary line that kind of Well, it's I should say secondary because it's up ahead, it's in front, but pretty neat how that's formed up. And man, when Ontario flashes, it really flashes. So watch this. Just take me a second here. I want to go to many more frames. We'll go to 50. So there was that storm earlier today.
Oh yeah, it
Boom.
looks like they're rotating
Yeah,
pretty decently too.
there was a couple that were really concerning that passed just north. Mom got a nice picture of it, sort of just safely in the distance. So it was lucky. And when it was starting to get closer to where
Any
are
of
we here?
them confirmed touchdowns in Ottawa, or did Ottawa escape this one? Because I know a few years ago they've been hit by a few.
There, we'll switch radars here. No, nothing kind of made it to Ottawa itself today. Boom, that's a nice look at it. Oh, it
Yeah,
was
that one
awesome.
has a really good couplet on it, just north Wemyss. And there
I
was
want
like a
to
line that came through after the supercells.
slow her down here.
If you want, I can leave and then come back and let everyone else come on when they come on.
That's up to you, I guess.
I gotta get dinner started before it gets any later, so
So nice action. That made me wish I was in Ontario today. It would have been nice to be up at my hunting camp.
I wish you could just teleport places.
Oh
Like be
man,
like you got personal teleporter at home, be like, I'm gonna enter myself to go to Ottawa or Toronto, and I'll drive like 3 hours or just drive an hour, 30 minutes outside the city. I still can't believe we haven't figured out teleporting yet. We're in AI state.
okay, this is the. Oh no, I missed it. This was the guy, and it started off just near where Nature Bible Camp is, there near Lamob, just outside by MacArthur's Mills. It went through, and
Any confirmed tornadoes from today?
I still have not seen. You gonna
Oh, it
give me
looks
my
like
velocity?
Manitoba's stealing all the action for that.
Well, for a little bit, that one was concerning, and then it was heading right to people. My
How can
ex-girlfriend.
you how can you tell on radar if they're rotating? I always get that confused. Like it's red and green meaning, but does it have to be like circling itself?
Let's see if we can find the best image here. This was probably the moment that I thought we had the best chance of it. You can see it's definitely tailing off there towards. I want to say that's Deer Rock Lake or Scudamotic Lake, but here's Ardoch. This was a pretty nice looking. Oops. Pretty nice looking couplet in here. Something was going on in there, for sure. Oh, what have I done? So, anyways, it looks like things are not crazy. There's no tornado warnings anymore happening. We have lots of severe thunderstorm watches, but it seems like the worst of it is over for today.
Oh, that's good. There's a lot of people that get, from what I heard, Southern Ontario always gets a lot of the action. My aunt and uncle live in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and they said that if they're lucky, they get like 5 thunderstorms a year. Some years they don't even get any because they're right beside Lake Superior. Lake Superior is literally the deepest lake of the Ontario lakes, and it's the coldest. So any storms that go over top of the lake, they pretty much get choked out or die because they're basically feeling in cold air. And if you're gonna go to a place that doesn't have thunderstorms in Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie is probably your best bet.
Yes, well, the area where I grew up there, let's just see, uh, more or less this sort of area. It's pretty good actually, and you'll traditionally they tell you that there was a kind of a line that you go maybe 50 to 100 kilometers north of the lakes. So you get
Mm-hmm.
to, just north of London, and that puts you up towards Barrie and Aurelia, and that puts you across towards Mum's places at Bannockburn, and then kind of dipping into this quadrant. And then if you go into this sort of section from London down towards Windsor, you don't get that lake effect so much. So you tend to get action in that Sarnia and South belt as well, right? So this was traditionally where you would expect to see the lion's share of lightning strikes, therefore tornadoes and severe weather in Ontario, right?
Like I've been up to Wawa and I've seen lightning maybe once or twice in the summer months.
So what I would find growing up in this sort of area north of 7 it would be very typical for us to get a very aggressive thunderstorm for 10 to 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes every day, sometimes 3 times a day, continuously, day after day after day, sometimes in the middle of the summer. So that is looking at the radar right
Seems like
now.
it's the hot spot in Ontario, southern Ontario, Corn Belt.
And seeing as we do have a flash of lightning here somewhere in the Caribou, we're looking, there we
I've
go.
never been out there before. It's really pretty out by Panorama, but anywhere east of
Hey,
there,
Joey, I have made it.
Hey, Frankie, good. Let's get started here in 1 second.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right.
I
Attention to
fought
you,
a fire
Frankie.
somewhere just
I've been stealing
near
the
this
show the
area.
last little while.
Frankie's here and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Stop. Share. Um, record to the cloud.
I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. I'm just going to shut a couple things down quickly, Frankie,
Yeah.
because I am now ready for you. Okay, everybody. Hello, Prince George, listeners at C for 88.7 FM. Hello, Winnipeg, listeners at CKUW 95.9 FM. Hello, Kamloops, listeners at CFBX 92.5 FM, and viewers on Rogers Television. Hello, viewers on Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel here live. And hello, everybody. It is today, the date I do believe is the 13th of June. It is the 13th of June. And what a week it's been. I'm Joey Only, the Caribou Weather Dude up here in Wells, British Columbia, sitting at 4,000 feet above sea level, watching the world rain around me. It's been that kind of stretch here in the Caribou. This is the show about how much the weather sucks in Canada, so we will talk about it. We'll talk about all the potentially tornadoes that have been happening this week in Canada. This system that went through Tuesday here in BC lit up Canada coast to coast. So crazy amount of weather going on. We'll talk about all that. But of course, we got the man himself, Frankie McDonald, here to start the show. He is out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He is the world's most famous weatherman, the most popular weatherman, the best looking, the coolest, my favorite, and the funniest as well, as a matter of fact. He is Frankie McDonald. Frankie, how you doing so far, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. The weather is muggy out in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now. And it's muggy out in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now. Florida had so much rain. Then the Edmonton Oilers had a delayed leaving Florida, heading for Edmonton. The Panthers had a delay leaving Florida for Edmonton because of so much rain and flooding going on in Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. And lots of rain in Nova Scotia on Saturday, in Boston, Massachusetts, USA too. And it's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, including Banff, Alberta. It's going to bring lots of rain up in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba this Saturday and the Sunday coming up. It's going to bring lots of thunderstorms in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. It's going to bring cold weather and rain in the forecast in Vancouver, British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia. It's extremely hot weather in Los Angeles. And those places extremely hot in LA, California right now, including Phoenix, Arizona, extremely hot there right now. And it's going to be some cooler air hitting for Toronto this weekend coming. And it's good cooler air hitting for Toronto. They got really hot air for Nova Scotia next week, including New Brunswick, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, all the way down Florida. It's going to bring a whole lot of severe weather in South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota. And possibly it's going to bring really hot temperatures in Ontario too, in Manitoba. The start of the week as well. Lots of thunderstorms are forecast, and they got really hot weather hitting for Saskatchewan, Alberta late next week. There's a possible tropical storm that's going to hit for Mexico, in Texas, and those places as well. A lot of rain heading for Santiago, Chile next week. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Central America and South America right now, like Venezuela, including Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and lots of rain thunderstorms going on right now. It's drier than normal in southern Brazil right now, including Amazon rainforest is drier than normal, like Rio de Janeiro, things like this. There's a whole lot of thunderstorms in Santiago, Chile. They got more rain heading for there. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Santiago, Chile right now. And it's really cold in southern tip of Argentina and southern Chile is right now. Weather in UK, lots of rain and thunderstorms. Lots of rain, cold temperatures in the United Kingdom right now. In Wales, Scotland, Ireland, all those places as well. It's going to remain a little bit cooler in UK next week as well. The UK is going to get hot and eventually lots of cold weather in Norway, Finland, Sweden right now. In France, there's lots of thunderstorms and rain going on right now. That could, I got to keep an eye on Paris for the Olympics forecast. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Germany, Denmark, Netherlands right now, including parts of Spain. And it's really hot in Portugal, Morocco, Algeria, Libya, and Egypt right now. It's really hot in Turkey and Greece and all those places. Moscow, Russia's lots of thunderstorms and rain in the forecast, including Norway, Finland, Sweden. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Germany, including Poland and Belarus and all those places. In Japan, lots of rain and lots of rain in southern China right now, including Wuhan, China. It's really hot in Mongolia right now. It's getting really hot in Siberia right now too. And it got some really hot temperatures heading for Siberia next weekend as well. Then it got some cold air, hot air fighting each other in Siberia. And Siberia is going to get extremely hot in the summertime. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast in Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Bangladesh and Myanmar. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in India right now. In New Delhi, India is going to monsoon season the end of the month. A lot of rain in the forecast, including Nepal as well. Then it got snow up in the mountains in Nepal, in Saudi Arabia, and places like this in Middle East. Lots of extremely hot weather in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and all those places right now. Over in Northern Africa, a lot of thunderstorms and rain going on in Nigeria and Ghana and all those places, Senegal. And there's a lot of rain and thunderstorms going on right now in Southern Africa. Then it got some hot air in South Africa right now after a snowstorm. It's dry weather in South Africa, Angola, and Namibia, and Botswana, and all those places right now. And Mozambique is in the dry season. Madagascar with chance of showers, and La Réunion and Mauritius Islands as well. In Australia, there's lots of cold weather heading for Sydney, Australia as well. That's where Andy Dowling lives. And lots of rain in the forecast in West Coast Australia as well. And then it's going cold temperatures and hot air in Northern Australia. Down in the Southwest Pacific is lots of rain going on in New Zealand right now. Snow up in the mountains right now. It's getting cold air in New Zealand right now. Antarctica, lots of rain off New Zealand. Gisborne, New Zealand, Hamilton, Greysmouth, New Plymouth, and all those places. And then for Cargill, New Zealand's colder than average temperatures. So Christchurch and Dunedin and all those places. And lots of snow in Queenstown, New Zealand, up in the mountains as well. It's dark out 24 hours a day. In Antarctica, it's daylight 24 hours a day up in the Arctic. And guess what? The shortest day of the year in New Zealand's June 20th. Same with my longest day of the year.
That's true. Is there something different about you this week, Frankie?
It's light up in the Arctic 24 hours a day.
That's not what's different about you, Frankie. You're wearing a different shirt. It's a different style for you. We don't normally see that.
I got that to Fortress of Lubesburg in August 2017.
That is a different shirt, but I don't think that's it. Imogen, good to see you, Imogen. Welcome to the show. I don't think it's the shirt. Is there something different about you, Frankie McDonald?
It's a Fortress of Lubesburg t-shirt.
I know what it is. You shaved, didn't you?
I shaved. I got my hair cut.
Ah, that's what it is. Your haircut.
Whenever something looks different, it's almost always a haircut. It might just be a touch-up, but it's still different enough. It makes your eye twitch. Look good, Frankie.
It looked like I got a haircut because I got dog hair all over me, and I didn't notice until I looked at the camera finally.
Tunnels are an important part of dog grooming. It's the best way to brush them.
It's true. It's true. You have a question for Frankie this week, Imogen?
Actually, yes. Given the degree of atmospheric compression on the gas giant planets that causes it to rain diamonds, how many sharks would it take to compress into a 7-centimeter diamond?
A lot.
This is the most mathematically specific answer we will get to this. No one is going to shot put a shark up to a gas giant planet just to see it turn into a diamond. Thank you.
And lots of sharks and diamonds.
Frankie, how many tornadoes would it take to make a tornado hurricane?
A lot of tornadoes.
In Manitoba.
A lot of tornadoes have to merge into one.
I don't think you can have a hurricane in Manitoba. It lacks a key ingredient for hurricane formation, which is an ocean.
I'm talking about a tornado cane. Not like a candy cane, but a tornado, a hurricane, a tornadoes that make like a circle like a hurricane. Like a tornado apocalypse.
This is Mike McGregor out there in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and that's Imogen Cookie Bailey, who's joined us, who's our associate producer down there in Victoria, British Columbia. So we are looking at tornadoes that happened this week, and we'll be talking about that very soon. I got some articles pulled up.
I unfortunately didn't get to chase any of them.
Yeah, well, I tried to catch some storms here in the Cariboo, and I only had so much success. Hey, Frankie, what did you do this week? Frankie, what were you up to this week in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
I just did multiple comedy videos. Plus, I did a weather report for Miami, Florida with a lot of rain, plus Santiago, Chile as well.
Were you dancing with all the girls as well?
Yes,
I saw last night.
On Wednesday night. I just sent it to you.
I saw that, yeah. I love when you send me your dancing videos. That's personally my favorite.
And I was singing karaoke and things like this. And I was on the Compound Media Related podcast in the week.
Excellent, excellent. And no Bass Guy show yet, of course.
Bass Guy Studio is under reconstruction. And Trey Campbell's doing stand-up comedy.
He is, isn't he? He is. And he is a funny, funny man, Frankie. He's a funny man.
He's doing stand-up comedy every Thursday nights.
And Gary and Dino's show, of course, every Saturday.
Yeah. And Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies on Sunday.
You're a busy man, Frankie.
and Trevor's happy hours on Sunday nights.
How's Trevor doing?
He's doing great so far.
Yeah, he's recovered well. He's doing well.
He's doing great so far.
Yeah, I heard he was in the hospital there a couple of months ago, so it's
Well,
good he's doing great so far.
so Trevor was in the hospital because he had a pair of giant humps on his back, like a camel. And he decided that that was life as a dromedary camel was a little bit much for him. So he went in, he found a specialist surgeon, believe it or not. He found a specialist surgeon to mush those two humps into one giant mega hump. So, but it was a little bit tricky. It was a little bit hard to do. But he does now have one giant mammoth hump, which in the right conditions, it can actually, if you look at him the right way, it kind of looks like a giant shark fin on his back. And there's enough extra material. It was a really complicated procedure with a little bit of extra material left over. So he managed to get some of it formed into like a big horn, kind of like a narwhal. It's like a unicorn horn is a little thick at the bottom and kind of stumpy, but a narwhal has a big, massive one. So that's kind of what Trevor's doing now. He has a giant mega hump on his back and a narwhal horn. Very impressive. He's an absolute visionary. So if you get a chance, check out Trevor. He's a fascinating man.
That's unbelievable.
It should be. You should not believe that.
But very, very funny.
But
all
if
the
you do
same.
believe that, then I really have a few more things to tell you at a later date.
Well, tell us something we would believe. What's happened in Victoria this week?
Mild weather. A lot of like light clouds and mild sun and slight wind. It's all very mediocre. It's a lot of mediocre, which is great when you're doing stuff and you want to get stuff done and not be sitting inside working and then going, man, I wish I wasn't here. It's the kind of weather that you can enjoy from indoors, which is great. So that's what the weather's been like here. Not exciting.
That's good. You got the big party coming up soon. Aerosmith is coming. Wayne and Garth, everybody.
Absolutely. Totally got Aerosmith. There might be some guys who look like Aerosmith. But yeah, no, we've got the lineup is all finalized. It's gonna be super cool. Rock City Riot, which is a Judas Priest cover band, they're gonna be headlining. So it's like they're so deadly. It's the closest thing you'll get to see a Judas Priest without being in a massive stadium that's just way too full and kind of uncomfortable. And you want to be there because it's awesome, but at the same time, it's like really packed. This is just it's the closest you'll get without having to pay like $300 for a ticket because it's free.
Well, and completely packed with, who knows who too, right? So
It's a family event. It's a
Well,
family
it's-
function.
yeah, so
Oh,
that's, another plus in your favor, I'm saying, yes.
True. It's a great way to introduce kids to 80s metal and actually Celtic party music as well. There's a lot of variety on the lineup. It's pretty out there. It's gonna be fun.
I've been, thinking lately more and more, like, I want to play music again, like, I think I do, and it's been coming, it's been stirring in me, and I have the performer in me, and I used to be good, and that's the thing, it's like, if you can't necessarily go and be that, you don't necessarily want to do it, and I just didn't really have that energy, and I guess when I got sober, and I got busy being dad on the weekends, and just kind of fell away from it, and then realizing I wanted again. Then I was at the B.A. Johnston show, and so I talked to Danny Bell, and he says, in Prince George, and he says, well, and he's running the show, the sound that night, and hey, Danny, how's your sets going? You got gigs coming up, and blah blah blah. The small chat. Aren't you playing, Joey? Like, no, still no, but I've been thinking about it. It's like, you should, man. And he's like, yeah. And I turned around, the next guy's like, it's like, man, we haven't seen you play in so long. Like, we'd so be there if you did. I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah. And then they're like, well, there's B.A. Johnston. Like, good to see you, man. And
Brandon
he's like,
Hoke made it.
Brandon Helk made it. And then he's like,
Florida had so much rain this week, it was flooded, and South Florida had declared a state of emergency.
and Edmonton's declaring a state of emergency right now. It's 4-1, Florida. So, and B.A. Johnston's like, if you were playing again, we could double bill next time I'm in Prince George. He's like, yeah, I know, I really want that. And then I came home and I got a message on the phone and from the little hiking festival, and we need an act. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then the next day I started playing, and I was like, ah!
Is that when you realize that you suck now?
No. I realized I used to suck,
My
but now it's awesome.
Perfect.
my dad hates the Oilers because they destroyed the Jets whenever they were here. So uh, he got some competition as a Jets fan.
In the first
I,
round,
I really don't like the Oilers because they destroyed our playoffs.
the Oilers
people-
defeated Kings in the first round, defeated Canucks in the second round, defeated Stars in the third round.
It's because people are like, we should support Canada's team, whatever team's left. But the problem is, Alberta doesn't even want to be in Canada anymore. So therefore, I can't necessarily just automatically say, is Alberta, is Edmonton Canada's team? I don't know. Brandon Houck might disagree. He's finally shown up from his street party.
And
with the radio
just
station.
kidding. I like the Oilers. They're a Canadian team. I shouldn't be shaming the Canadian team.
I know that Brandon Houck most certainly does not like the Edmonton Oilers.
No, I like the Calgary Flames.
They didn't make the playoffs this season.
No, they did not.
I like
By
the
the
Winnipeg
way-
Jets. I
yeah.
all different hockey fans here.
Oh,
All
yeah.
get along.
The
Victory.
Brandon Houck Report.
Yes. The
Hi, this is
Brandon.
the Brandon Houck Report.
That's right. That's right. The Brandon Houck Report. And I just stepped in from a party, and it was a good party. Last 3 hours. I don't know how long I was out there partying up on the streets and making people laugh, And now I'm here to make everybody laugh again here. So that's what I'm here for. But anyways, we had
working already.
Oh, it'll work eventually. I have a couple things written down here from earlier this morning from my radio show. So you get ready, buckle up, buckle your seatbelts here. Okay, we're in for a ride. All right. So we had a pretty active start to the week here. We had on Tuesday, line of thunderstorms roll off the foothills, and they were moving at least 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. And there was very strong winds. Some areas saw straight line winds on Tuesday, did a little bit of damage. Some areas had wind gusts of 90 to 110 kilometers an hour in parts of Alberta. And then that same system pushed its way through the eastern prairies, produced the tornadoes on Wednesday in Saskatchewan, Manitoba as well. We had a few tornadoes touching down there. That would be Wednesday, the 12th there yesterday. And then now it's moved off into Ontario, and that's in Quebec. And that's where it's been quite active there today. And now we've got another system moving in for Friday, the 14th of June. And that is going to be pretty good potential for a possibility for maybe a couple of supercells to develop in the, let's say the Edmonton area back up against the foothills there. So we might get a couple of supercells there. So we'll watch that area very closely on Friday. And then that same system is going to bring severe weather further to the east. And then we'll have some thunderstorms here in southern Alberta. We'll crank up the heat for Friday. And then that cooler air mass really starts to take over for the weekend, along with an area of rain that's going to be situated over us over the next, let's say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the next week for the beginning of next week in southern Alberta. Daytime highs in the low teens, and a rain and a wind to go along with that. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a rough start to the week next week here in southern Alberta. And then we'll see things start to improve through the later stages of next week. It looks like at least 10 to 20 millimeters of rain to fall into early next week in our neck of the woods. So that is what we are continuing to follow on the weather side of things. Now, I've also heard that there's been some extreme heat in Las Vegas, so hot that people are standing on the strip next to Carrot Top to cool off. So, yeah, quite hot there. And also, carbon dioxide is threatening to take over the atmosphere. And if you haven't seen the concert yet, well, you better hurry up. And that's the Brandon Houck Report.
The Brandon Houck Report. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Yeah, so it's looking like a repeat kind of Tuesday on, sort of starting tomorrow on Friday. So everything that you sort of seen happen this week is sort of going to happen the same. And it was pretty wild weather through Ontario. We had multiple tornado warnings today up through Cochrane area, going into Tamaskaming on the Quebec side. I had a very good looking tornado warning for a little while, very close to my mom's house, about 30 kilometers away was the edge of that storm at one point. In central Ontario, north of Highway 7 area. So definitely. And then we had tornadoes in Manitoba this week, yesterday and the day before, I guess, or so. Is that correct, Mike? I'm hearing maybe 4 or 5 confirmed tornadoes from yesterday.
Yeah, there were 5 confirmed. 1 touchdown just to the southwest, I believe, of northwest of Winkler. There was one by Carberry that touchdown, and there was another one that touchdown by Rapid City. And they said that there was also another unconfirmed one south of Winkler. So it was that one supercell thunderstorm that developed just to the northwest of Brandon that lasted for about 3 to 4 hours, producing multiple tornadoes. I personally haven't seen anything like it in Manitoba. Justin said that he got a chance to chase the second tornado warning storm when it came towards Brandon later in the evening, and he took a really good sunset shot of it. I was thinking it was going to come to Winnipeg, but skirted southeast to me. I honestly had seen photos of it. It looked like a big stovepipe. It was kicking up a lot of dust because there's still like a lot of farmland still being seeded. So there's some photos of it on Twitter. I think Justin posted a couple on the Weather Center in Manitoba. It was really wild weather, and I think we're in for another repeat of it on Saturday. Models are all over the place, still in agreement on timing and location of severe weather, but southwest MB to the Red River Valley, east to southeastern Manitoba look likely to be on that area where you might want to be on alert for severe weather. We'll know more tomorrow. Justin and I have talked, and he said it could be like a repeat day on Saturday, what it was on Thursday. So Manitoba is
On
getting
Monday,
the storms action. Crazy. I feel like I'm in a deja vu groundhog mode. Groundhog Day mode.
The Arbor, where Swan Lake First Nation has its powwows, was heavily damaged by a tornado. It is completely destroyed. Obviously not a very powerful tornado, but nonetheless the structure is very much wrecked. So
It's surprising though, the dew
their
point
powwow on
levels.
June 28th to 30th, they'll have to have that repaired by then or find something else, I guess.
It always seems to happen whenever the Red River X is in town. It's ironically funny. 3 years ago, when the Red River X was not running, no storms happened. Year came back, we got whammed with storms. So it seems that whenever the Red River X happens and there's festivals in towns, we get big weather events. I don't know, maybe the carnies bring that to town or what, but um, regardless, yeah, it was wild that we, considering the dew point levels and dew point temperatures were low for this time of year, to have a tornado is just mind blowing. But
Storm chaser Jordan Carruthers from Portage la Prairie says he saw 4 tornadoes on Wednesday, including the one hit Swan Lake. Brandon, who is this Jordan Carruthers and how do we get him?
Oh, I can DM him if you want.
I second him. I'd love to have him on here, man.
Yeah, send him the link and tell him to join us. He saw 4 tornadoes. Let's get the details on that.
I think you mean ask him to join us. Ordering people on here isn't really going to go well for us.
Oh, that's true. Frankie, can you order him? I can't.
Frankie has that ability, to be fair. That's kind of how all of us have wound up on some of the podcasts we've wound up on.
I was on the Compound Media Relay podcast. I was on Ham Radio New York. I was on Jason Marshall Wheel of Cookies, Trevor's Happy Hour.
Frankie, can you say the words Jordan Carruthers? You come on the show now.
Jordan Crothers, you have to come on Joey Only Show.
See? Look at Frankie ordered it. Now it's official. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I do have Frankie videos lined up in the meantime
Yes.
that we can look at. So we'll look at Frankie videos here in just a second. But yeah, so repeat of that is all coming this week. And, it is safe to say that maybe there might be another repeat round after that. It looks like we're in a bit of a pattern that's going on right now. So this is the pattern, and expect more of it to continue. Who's Eskimo Joe?
Would that be Joe Stover?
Maybe.
Joe Stover's on his way.
I think it's Joe Stover coming in.
Okay.
Seriously, did you seriously just let an unknown person on here? Well, good thing.
Joe's
it turned
getting
out to
lots
be
of
good
rain.
unknown. Hey, Joe.
Hi.
Luckily this time it's a good person.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Welcome
Michael.
to the
what's
party,
up?
then.
What are you
How's
guys up to?
How's Churchill?
It's good. I'm just actually right by the Hudson Bay right now. Just let me get over here and I'll show you what our coastline looks like right now.
I heard they got sale on shoes this week.
A sale on shoes? Oh. Yes. Hey, hold on there. Let me get out of here. Let
It
me
is
flip the
quite
camera
the
around.
rain.
If I know how. Why won't it let me? Oh, I got it. Boom. Here is still frozen Hudson Bay.
Almost go ice fishing. Well, not really. Bad idea.
Yeah, it would be a pretty bad idea. So all this ice is moving due to the tides, right? We have about 5-meter tides. That's about 15 feet between low and high tide. And so right now, because most of this is not solid ice, it moves all over the place. So every 6 hours or so goes back and forth, back and forth. So the entire eastern side of Hudson Bay is open uncharacteristically, which means that most of the polar bears now are on the western side of Hudson Bay. And I would expect, with some warmer temperatures coming up over the next couple weeks, this ice should all be gone, and we'll be able to see beluga whales all over the place at this point.
That's incredible. What's that behind you?
Behind me, where?
Okay, just kidding.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a guy on a quad.
There's a guy in a quad.
It's a beluga on a quad.
We got the and then we got this cool. I'll show this to you quick. We got our Inukshuk here on the beach. This big old Inukshuk, and then our famous, very, very famous sign. We're almost there. Here it is. Stop. Don't walk in this area, polar bears. You can call the bear line. 204-675-BEAR. Brought to you by the government of Manitoba.
So when
So
you
is
call
that
the bear
sign
line,
telling you not to walk there, or is it telling the polar bears not to walk there?
Oh, that's a good question. I assume it is humans. I think bears
Humans.
pretty much walk wherever they darn well please.
Like if
So
you
if
see
you
a bear
do-
walk, go ahead, Brandon.
so if you do call the bear line, do you have to roar like a bear too?
You know what? I've never tried it. I have had to call the bear line when I've seen polar bears, but I've never once called it pretending to be a bear. I could try that, but it'd be as they say, a waste of resources and time and blah blah blah. Bureaucracy, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
Question. Can you call the bear line to request a bear? And if you can you request a specific bear, or is it just whoever they dispatch?
Again, I think that might fall under the waste of time and resources, as that they would say. I like it though. I like how you're thinking, Imogen, because
I like it too. I would like to bring one of those cute, cuddly polar bears home so I can snuggle up and fall asleep. Yeah, I look weird doing that.
You would fall asleep in a matter of speaking, I would say. It'd be one of those dirt naps, I think they call them, if you decided to cuddle with a polar bear. But as you know, Michael, you could go down in Winnipeg, and the rest of the CKUW listeners can go to the Assiniboine Park Zoo and see the Journey to Churchill exhibit that has polar bears and seals and that sort of thing.
I like how big your Inukshuk is. I often like to, when I see them, I like to kick them over. You know, but that's a big one. I don't think I could kick that one over. That's the real deal.
I don't think you should be kicking over an Nookshucks, Joey. That's not very nice. I mean,
Oops.
you could try. Oops.
The wind.
Yeah, it was the wind, huh? It was the wind. Like, it wasn't me. It was the wind.
That's what I told him.
That's what I told him.
All right, on. Good to see you, Joe. Nice to see the Hudson Bay.
You always blame the wind for something. Like the wind took my lawn chairs. Sorry, empty stomach. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'll be back.
Well,
We'll
somebody
see in a little bit. We are expecting Jenny Hagen to possibly show up here. She says, quite possibly. So we better check out the Frankie videos of the week. Is everybody ready for the Frankie videos of the week?
Yes.
All right.
Hey everybody, on June 8th, 14 years ago, I uploaded my original video that got a lot of views. Severe earthquake warning for California in September 2010. The video was uploaded by me, Frankie, on Tuesday, June 8th, 2010. That's 14 years ago. My video, Severe Earthquake Warning for California, September 2010, video was uploaded to my YouTube channel that don't even exist anymore for Frank Down.
He got that prediction right, by the way. Okay,
Okay, guys, so go to a guy eating cherry pies.
All right, here we go. Frankie's eating cherry pies right now. One after another. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13, 14, 15. Lots of pies. I lost count.
Sounds like pelicans are after me now. Oh my god, the pelicans are after me now. Ah! There's a whole pack of pelicans after me now. Ah!
Pack of pelicans that got Frankie running.
There's a lot of pelicans after me now. Ah! There's pelicans after me now. Ah! 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 Ah!
Yikes.
There's a pack of pelicans after me now. Ah!
Those are extreme.
There's a whole lot of pelicans after me now. Ah! Ah! They won't stop chasing me. Ah!
Oh, they're still chasing him.
Even more pelicans after me now. Ah! Pelicans finally got away. Thanks for watching, Frank Down. This is Frankie MacDonald, my own TV station, live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rain is headed towards Santiago, Chile on Thursday, June 13th, 2024. The heavy rain will start on Wednesday evening in Santiago, Chile. And surrounding areas is going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to cause a lot of puddles in the streets of Santiago, Chile. And the surrounding areas is going to bring a whole lot of rain. I want everyone in Chile to don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you go for a walk. Make sure you wear your rain gear with rubber boots and raincoats to keep you dry. And wear your rain gear. And have your umbrellas ready. It's going to bring 30 plus millimeters of rain in Santiago, Chile, and the surrounding areas as well. When you drive a car, don't drive a car to the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you're driving the car. When you go for a walk, don't walk to the puddles either. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Santiago, Chile, and the surrounding areas as well on Thursday, June 13, 2024. It's going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to bring some flooding possible in Santiago, Chile, and the rest of the surrounding communities in Chile as well. If anybody live in Chile, be prepared for heavy rain on Thursday, June 13, 2024. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in heavy rain. Stay driving safe. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station, live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rain is continuing in Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Key West, Florida, and Southern Florida on Thursday, June 13, 2024. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Southern Florida, especially in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Miami Beach. It's going to bring flooding rain. It's going to bring way so much rain. That's going to cause extreme flooding in Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the surrounding areas, including Alligator Alley. It's going to bring so much rain in Southern Florida, including Key West. I want everyone to wear your rain gear, rubber boots, and raincoats to keep you dry. Have your smartphones and cell phones charged Make sure to have your mobile internet ready as well because it's going to bring so much rain. Avoid flooded areas. Don't walk to the puddles and floods. In southern Florida, especially in Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and southern Florida as well. I want every single person in southern Florida to be extra prepared since it's going to bring a lot of rain on Thursday, June 13, 2024. It's going to continue for the next couple days in southern Florida. Be extra prepared, be safe.
You got
Don't
that
get
one right,
wet,
Frankie.
Stay dry, be safe. Hey everybody, I just got my brand new haircut just now from Frank Down.
All right, last Frankie video.
Okay guys, we're going to do a guy eating half a pies.
Apple pies this time, not cherry pies. You sure eating them pies? How many pies is that, Frankie? On average.
Oh my god, dogs are after me now. It sounds like dogs are coming. Oh my god, the dogs are after me.
The dogs now
More dogs are after me now.
got away from the pelicans
There's a lot of dogs after me now.
just to have the dogs after them.
There's a whole lot of dogs after me now.
For you radio listeners, there's a whole lot of dogs after them right now.
There's so many dogs after me now. There's a lot of dogs. They got German Shepherds, Labrador Retrievers, Pomeranians.
Pomeranians.
They got more German Shepherds and
What about
Labrador Retrievers and Golden Retrievers.
bulldogs?
Got Siberian Huskies and Huskies.
Both kinds
Bulldog-
of huskies.
There's a whole
Bulldogs
lot
are
of
also
dogs after me
terrifying
now.
too.
Better run.
So many dogs are after me now. Dogs finally got away.
Holy, that was close.
Thanks for watching, Frank Down.
And there's our Frankie videos of the week. Frankie videos of the week. Jenny Hagen out there in Saskatchewan. It's good to see you. It's been a long time. You were chasing.
Hi.
You got some fantastic photographs.
Hi, Jenny. I'm Frankie McDowell. Nice to meet you. I'm doing great so far. And first, I did a forecast for Chile, big rainstorm. Miami, Florida had so much rain.
Miami had a lot of rain,
Yeah.
and Manitoba had a lot of tornadoes.
Hey Jenny,
And how's it going, Michael?
I saw your videos on the Weather Network that featured on Captured or was the Point of View or something. They featured you in a segment. I was like, Jenny Hagen, I have to meet her. Because I see you on Twitter all the time. I'm like, this is the lady who does storm chasing. You inspire me, by the way.
Oh, that's great to hear. And hopefully I get to meet you in person one day.
I love that.
So what did you catch this week, Jenny?
Well, there was a big dust storm essentially in Alberta. So we've seen a lot of like big dust clouds and little spin ups and stuff in front of it, but nothing as far as tornadoes. We were looking at gustnados. And then when it crossed into Saskatchewan, there was some wonderful lightning and the rain cleared off. So I got some great lightning shots, which is some of my favorite things to shoot during a storm. You think it'd be the tornadoes, but I just love the lightning.
Yeah, I get it because the lightning's something you're for sure gonna see.
Most of the time. Last year, not so much, but this year I'm hoping.
So you got that nice one. You got multiple forks. Yeah. Just continue.
Yeah, so it just coming home after and probably about 15 minutes south of where I live. I just popped out to that location with the tractor, the house, and shooting some lightning. So got some pretty good lightning shots, got a few there before it cleared off. And then we're looking into this weekend for another round of some storms for Saskatchewan and Manitoba that I'm hoping to get a few more lightning shots.
Yeah, and that tractor, it's kind of like one of your money shot locations, isn't it?
That's the great thing about Saskatchewan is there's like an abundance of foreground because the farmers throw out nothing.
Fair enough. Yeah. I have the same thing. I like my certain spots I go to, and it's like high chance of getting a nice photo if you're sitting in that spot because it's a nice spot.
It's fun when it's in your backyard and you know where everything is.
I totally failed this week. I went right and the storm went left, and what happens in the mountains is there's no roads. So if it flanks you, it's gone.
That's it, you miss. That's why I hate chasing down by the US border is the lack of road options.
It flanks you, it's gone. And
Yeah.
I really had some wonderful misses this week. I did hear some thunder in the distance, and it was laughing at me is what it was doing. Next time. And but yeah, and radar was down in the Caribou inexplicably for a week. So Prince George had no radar, and okay. So and it while it was nice, it came back right after the severe storms ended. So that was nice on Tuesday. We have radar again. But I woke up on Tuesday morning. I was like, hey, things are gonna pop in the Caribou. Where do I want to go? And still no radar. And it's like, well, maybe I'll just stay right here and see what happens. And no, it's like if I'd gone to Prince George, and then I was sitting there at about noon thinking, man, I should just head to Prince George. I should just do it. And if I'd done that, I would have been there in time for when that severe storm broke out 20K west of. So
Seems
slow
like
moving, only
Environment
going 20
Canada
kilometers
wants
an
us.
hour. It would have been photogenic enough to have been worth.
Yeah, and the Woodlands radar is also down. The other night we had I thought there was a storm or something coming to our northwest. The sky was starting to blacken. About 15, 20 minutes later, I ended up seeing some a rotating wall cloud northwest of me. It turned into a shelf. And apparently people in East St. Paul, which is like 20, 30 minutes northeast of me, they got slammed by a monsoon rain, and no one was able to tell that was coming. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do if we get tornado warnings near me and Woodlands is down? There's a big radar gap between the two radars. I feel like Environment Canada has purposely done that.
It's really weird when it's like I wait all year for storms to come. I wait all year, and then finally we have like a good round really kick off, and what happens is there no radar. It's like, thanks, guys. So there is only tornado warning right now. It would be for near Ox Vass, Mississippi, Kingdom City. There's one heading sort of right there right now, and that is nice to see that everything has kind of settled down in Ontario now. Things have calmed down. It's been a wild couple of days, and we're looking forward to some more. I'm looking forward to some thunderstorms here in BC tomorrow. All right, who's got something?
I'm starting to think Environment Canada wants to teach us how to old school chase. It's like back when I first started chasing it, you didn't have access to radar and you just kind of had to guess and head to an area and watch the sky.
Yeah, you actually had to watch the sky. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Look at the sky. That was like 2005. Yeah, I remember that. Those were good old days. Watching all the thunderstorms out the window.
I like Hank Bleaster's story last week where he was saying that he's like watching the radar and telling Buddy that's completely the wrong place, because the radar update hadn't happened. The storm kept moving. He's like, oh, it's behind us. Or no, it's in front of it, or in front of us. Anyways, it was, yeah. But the old school way where you go to look at the Environment Canada site where it had the lightning detector page, and it's got those little red dots that are sort of like, don't really tell you exactly, but more or less in your area, there's probably some lightning happening. That was the best thing we had. We're like, okay, well, just every 10 minutes, you refresh the dots, but it doesn't refresh at the 10-minute mark. It's like at the 3-minute mark, the 13, 14, 23. And he's like, that's all you got is you're looking at the red line. Like, well, it's getting close. Then maybe you look at a satellite and there's an image from an hour ago.
It reminds me of the old days of looking at Weather Network and still radar images refreshing every 10 minutes and be like, this is fun. And then you find out later on the radar sometimes kind of glitch and you would get an updated radar image. Reminds me of the 22,000 days where, I'd click on and you had to wait like 15 minutes for a new radar image.
And
Though I
it's
think it's
slowly.
an, oh,
Go ahead.
I think it's an important skill for chasers to have to learn if you're in the field too, though, because like especially when you're in areas where data is an issue and it's slow to reload. If you can't read the sky, then you can be in a world of trouble.
Oh
Man.
yes.
The
I
most
have this
obvious things right in
Environment
front of you.
Canada Severe Weather Watchers handbook. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll show it for our next show. I think I got it from the office, but tells you how to read the sky uh, on all that stuff. I'll stop interrupting, but
And it's like page 1. It's like this will teach you how to read the sky because we can't help you. You're gonna have. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we have for the rest of the summer we don't have that issue again. That'd be really really nice. So the people out there in Environment Canada. Another beef I have is the brand new Weather Network site. I won't even use it anymore. It's like so
There's a
clunky.
brand new site.
Yeah, there you go. See,
That's how long I haven't been on that site for a while.
yeah, it's sort of they're falling behind,
Well.
The
I
old
haven't-
school like 90s Windows 98 maps on Environment Canada Outlooks. Yeah, they bring back memories.
Oh yes.
Because
I'm gonna have a look-
View of
I'm gonna have a look
Manitoba
at
has
it.
been down. Did they ever say if it was a hack or are they
Oh.
revamping?
Woodlands is down because there was an equipment failure or something, and they said it won't be restored till the 18th.
18th. And Radisson.
Well, now we have the new thunderstorm outlook site at hpfx.collab.science.gc.ca. They make it really easy to find. That's hpfx.collab.science.gc.ca for your thunderstorm outlook. But I like it. They've improved it and they've added to it. And I hope they keep expanding on it as well. I really like the new Navigation Canada flight planning weather page.
Oh yeah. That one it takes you a little bit to get to get the groove of it. It took me a day or so to figure out
How do you-
okay, how do I get
how
this
do you
map
get-
to load? Oh,
How do you get plain language on the TAF? Because I used to be able to get an option for alphanumeric language and for plain language, and they don't have that right now.
Alphanumeric plain language. Meep meep. So that is just sort of a look at something else I was talking about was that Ontario is there's talk that Ontario now is the new tornado hotspot in Canada and the season is getting longer there. I don't know if this is news. I think it's always kind of been that way personally. I think it's just that we have better data now.
better data, more people taking pictures on their phones than back in the early 2000s.
Well, what I can tell you about growing up in Ontario and being a storm enthusiast is it's hard to see them.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to see them because first you got sort of a rolling countryside, whereas you don't have the nice open view of the plains. Where if you're sitting at a farm there and you're in southern Saskatchewan, you look out and you're like, well, there's a tornado 6 days away. First of all, you have this rolling topography, and obviously you're going to have a lot of trees in the way. Ontario is a very forested place. So there's that. But there's another thing that goes on in Ontario, which is photochemical smog. And how many times would I be watching for storms in Ontario and the thing would be right on top of you? All you could see is sort of like this bland, sort of dark area in the purple haze. And then suddenly this thunderstorm comes out from it with ridiculous intensity. So visibility is two very large factors that make tornado chasing in Ontario, difficult. I kind of liken that. If you sort of like think about that sort of Mississippi area in Arkansas, where it's hilly and it's wooded, and storm chasers will tell you. And the storms tend to be very high precipitation as well, right? So coming off the Great Lakes, whereas your storms out in the prairies, you tend to have very low precipitation storms because you don't have a giant set of the world's largest lakes right there.
Although we do have Lake Manitoba and Lake Winnipeg.
Well, it's pretty big, but it's your storms that you're seeing in most of the prairies aren't developing off of that, right? They're heading to the woods there, right? People in Regina, they're not getting any benefit from Lake Winnipeg when it comes to their thunderstorm genesis, tornado genesis.
Although
You love the prairies for Kasich.
I did research, and apparently the F2 that hit in 1987 in Winnipeg, South Winnipeg, was apparently caused by a lake breeze boundary. It allowed for a severe thunderstorm to pop up out of that. So the lakes do influence our weather here.
Okay, but fair enough. But that's for a very small part of the prairies in which sees no benefit from those giant lakes, right? So very, most of the prairies are seeing their thunderstorms develop off the Alberta foothills or coming up through the south.
Yeah,
right.
Or out of North Dakota.
Yeah, exactly my point. So drier thunderstorms, less rain, so more visibility into the storm, less clear skies without the crazy. Because when you're in the part of Ontario I grew up in sort of north of 7 Central Ontario, you have not just Toronto and London and Windsor and all those, but you got Chicago and Detroit and Cleveland, all these large cities sending their emissions right into Ontario, and it makes for very poor visibility. And then you have topography. So I think Ontario always was the hot spot for tornadoes in Canada. It's just now we have a better idea. Anyone gonna challenge me on that?
I think Northern Tornadoes Project has it surprised them on how many actually were in that Ontario region when the data started coming in. But I think with everything, it kind of comes in waves. There is years where Ontario was very slow as far as tornadoes. 2012, Saskatchewan had a record of, I think, 36 or 37 tornadoes that summer. So, sometimes the prairies is a little bit more active than Ontario, but these last few years, Ontario definitely has been on fire for severe weather.
Yeah, what did we have last year?
Alberta stole all the tornadoes last year.
There was a crazy number in Ontario last year, and I can't quickly find the information. I think it's something like in the
Saskatchewan had one tornado last year. Well, one confirmed tornado and a record low amount of lightning strikes. It was an awful season for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and the tornado was just on the outskirts of Regina.
So everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it, yeah.
There was something like 13 in just one day last year in Ontario. I want to say there was 50 confirmed last year in Ontario, but I can't find the articles quickly right now on Google. So
just talking to Justin, he says that he's targeting the Kenmare and Bow Billows area of North Dakota, and he's targeting southwest Saskatchewan and southeast Manitoba, southeast Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba. I get the two of them mixed up.
It's more or less the money location, right? That corner, that border area.
Although the Red River Valley has occasionally had some big tornadoes. Albany in 1978, Rosa in 1977. I'm thinking Eli in 2007, and there was also I think another one that hit Vida in 1955.
I found it out. Edmonton Oilers tried their best. The game was over. Edmonton Oilers tried their best tonight.
Did they actually try their best, Frankie?
Yes, they lost the
don't
game
know.
again.
I
Where's
don't
the
know.
final?
3 games
Oh.
to none.
45
games to-
seconds. It's 4-3 Panthers. They got to get one more goal in 45 seconds.
That's the end of the third period.
Frankie says it's over, and he always knows. He's a predictor, right? So even if it's not over, Frankie knows. Frankie knows Edmonton's lost. So it's over. It's over, Oiler fans. Sorry. Brandon, what's your analysis on the Edmonton Oilers?
They only get, that means that if Florida Panthers win one more game, the Edmonton Oilers try their best, they'd be going golfing.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually am kind of rooting for the Panthers because I got 2 former Calgary Flames on the Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett there. So
That's
that's
Jerome
why
McGinley's
you're
other
rooting
home
for
team.
Florida.
That's one of Jerome McGinley's other home team.
I think so. Yeah.
So is Tim
Oh,
Thomas, the
sorry.
former Bruins.
Yeah. Jerome McGinley. I was
There's
actually
a couple
working over
guys
here
from
in the
Ontario. They
Dubs.
play for Panthers.
Oh yeah.
And it is official. The Oilers have lost. They're down to 3 games to none in the series. Well, Frankie, how do people find you on the internet?
If you want to follow me on social media, my Blue Sky is at Frankie MacD. My Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Linktree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD94. My TikTok is FrankDon94. My Clapper is FrankDon94. My Snapchat is Frankie MECDON. My YouTube channel is Dogs Wolf Say Bye. LinkedIn's FrankDon. Best luck to you. I'm Frank Don. You're listening to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
That's the man, Frankie himself. I'm Joey Olneo here in Wells, British Columbia, the host, if you will, of the show. We are joined always by Brandon Houck in Brooks, Alberta, the radio weatherman there. He is, even though he's late sometimes, he's always worth the wait. He's Brandon Houck. It'd be nice to have Jenny Hagen, lost in Saskatchewan, with us tonight, talking about the wonderful photographs she got this week, and good luck to you on your chasing this weekend. Maybe you'll get lucky. Mike McGregor in Winnipeg as well, who can look forward to some severe weather this weekend. And from the Weather Center in Manitoba, and Imogen Cookie Bailey, our associate producer out there in Victoria, British Columbia, who are looking forward to the Art Farm Party this weekend. Good to see everybody on the Comedeorological panel. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada.
Thanks. It's next month.
Next month?
I mean, there's
It's
going
next
to be
month.
fires
There's
this
so
year.
much planning
Joey.
going into it. I've been planning it since last November. This is a big event. This is a huge event. There is nothing else happening that weekend that will outpace this. It is big. I'm not exaggerating. It's big.
Is the Taylor Swift going to this thing?
You know what? She might sneak through. You'd be surprised who sneaks through that place. It's kind of wild.
This is the kind of party that only cool people are allowed in.
And
It's a family event, so no, not in the slightest.
is that in Edmonton?
That's the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's the show.
That's a good point, Frankie. The show's over already.
Valid.
That's the show.
That's the show. So just making sure everyone, you all understand that is the end of the show, Imogen. That's the
Well, that's
show.
what Frankie said, so I trust Frankie. And
That's the
Okay.
show.
the panel I'm seeing, he's right beside me. He's over there, Hollywood Squares. The LK.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
Well,
We love
as
your
the associate
humor,
producer,
Imogen.
I need to make you're okay to make sure it's the show. That's the show.
That's the show.
Okay, that's the show.
We love your humor, Imogen.
Edmonton Oilers are in big trouble now.
They are in big trouble right now, Frankie.
You didn't want to say that on the air? Come on, Frankie. You wait until we cut to say that. He's worried about the Oilers coming after him. There'll be ice skates like breaking his door down.
You know what's funny? The world's #1 DJ, Armin van Buren, and all of the world's biggest DJs are going to celebrate at the Ice Park in Edmonton for the Oilers celebration. I don't think there's going to be anything for them to celebrate about.
You know what's funny is Drake bet $1 million, I heard, on the Oilers
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
to win. To win.
Wouldn't it be nice to have that kind of money?
Yeah, well, he won't have that kind of money, actually, so it won't be that nice. Well, he might have more of that kind of money, but he won't have that money much longer.
Drake's a fan of the casinos, as the rumor goes.
He's gonna lose some money. It looks like. The improbable. What are the odds of coming back from a 4-3 series lead? What are the odds of coming back from 3-0?
Yeah, they're down 3-0 now.
I'm gonna ask Siri. See what Siri says.
There's just under 2%, apparently. So just under 2% chance. So there's hope, Oilers fans. There's hope. But hey,
Siri, what are the odds of coming?
can you imagine if
Siri,
the
what are
Oilers
the
had
odds
won
of
the
coming
cup?
back from a 4-3 loss?
I found this on the web.
Can you imagine if the Oilers had won the cup? How annoying Oiler fans would be for years, potentially the rest of our lives.
Well, I could tell you, someone gave me a pile of Oilers jersey for our parade last weekend because our theme was sports, I went into the closet and dragged out the Flames jersey and
Omni
wore that instead.
calculator, you guys can go and get info about odds, calculating odds. Omni calculator.
Did it say 2%?
2%.
Chance, probability of winning, probability of losing. What would I type in?
Well, I already got the answer. It's 2%. Coming back from a 3-0 series deficit in the NHL.
I don't know how to
2%.
calculate that.
I just found the Googleator and looked it up. And someone else calculated it, thank God, because I'm not up to that task right now. Imagine how annoying Oilers fans would have been for years, potentially the rest of your life. We won the cup. Hey, we won the cup. Flames suck. Leafs suck.
Jets
Winnipeg
suck.
sucks.
Jets
Vancouver
suck.
sucks. We won the cup. God, I don't know if I could have lived in a reality like that. Would have been painful. Like we already had to listen to Montreal fans for the last 30 years.
So y'all ready for Saturday on Michael?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to go chasing. I just got my beginner's license and I don't have a car.
Oh,
I
I know
asked Justin.
Brandon's been like watching it all excitedly, haven't you?
Yeah, I've asked Justin if he could pick me up, but he said it'd be a 6-hour drive. So he's
That's
gonna
not
wait
really picking you up. That's like going to get you.
He's gonna wait until something happens at the Red River Valley, hopefully later this month or next month.
I'm trying to get in as much chasing as possible before my new job starts on Monday. So,
new
If you get some
job.
pictures, send them to me.
yeah, I'm the new news content director for Country 104.9. So, I'm gonna join Brandon there as a radio geek.
Radio geek.
I'm also a radio geek too. I do Transland on 95.9.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think Tuesday I was on like 7 radio stations.
Oh,
doing
jeez.
that. That was fun. That was an adrenaline rush of its own.
I couldn't
Oh, now
imagine.
I gotta go on this one. Yeah.
Live?
Well, sort of live, kind of like about 2 minutes.
Well, right
Because
now,
I do mine pre-recorded.
this storm is right
I'm a
now
newbie.
running up the 401. It's heading towards Montreal fast because they heard there's a sale on beer at the gas station just outside Laval here. So this storm's on its way to go get it as fast as it can. Up the 401 was going much slower than most people drive on there. It's probably going much slower than I drove on the 401 every time I was on there. But there you go. That storm is sitting right on the 40.
That's a long storm.
Yeah. I don't know if I chase that one. That looks a little messy.
No, that's the kind where you just sit and watch for lightning
Yeah.
near Lake Ontario, right? And just watch the show. And certainly, I had times where I sat down here at Sandbanks Provincial Park and watch the most incredible thunderstorms come off Lake Ontario, man. Like some definite memories of my youth. Camping at Sandbanks was something we did fairly frequently over the years, and then just going to the beach there as well.
I remember being in Sault Ste. Marie in summer of 2005 and seeing an absolutely incredible lightning show. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time, but they do get some pretty good lightning storms out by Lake Superior.
And they get that fueled by the lake sometimes. Well, that's just what's going on now. Things are settling down out there. Who's this guy out there just by Goderich, Ontario?
Oh, I have family that live out that way.
Yeah,
They're okay.
I want to hear a good story. There's this one time I was in Goderich back in, 1998 or something like that. And then I ended up, there was a town party going on, and it was like the whole town party was happening. There was thousands of people in town. And then I ended up down at this, right here at this end of this pier with this girl. And, I'll spare you the details. But when we were engaged down there, this drunk woman came down the beach, and we were high on mushrooms too, to boot. And this drunk woman came down the beach, and she was yelling, "I fucked the mayor of Seaforth! I fucked the mayor of Seaforth!" She's just yelling into the window at the lake. And she kept getting real close to us. So then finally I was like, "Fuck off. We're fucking right here." and so it turned out it was the mayor of Seaforth's wife, who was just raging drunk, wandering down by the beach by herself. Just many other weird things happened that night. Anyways, that's a story about Goderich, Ontario for you probably didn't want to hear.
I'm gonna head out, guys. It's nice meeting you, Jenny.
It is that time. Caribou Outlaws heading out there. You can find Gary on the CB tonight if you're out there listening. Look to see if you can find Caribou Outlaw. Nice to see you, Shelly Slinsky. Thanks for tuning in. Good. We had Lisa Cribbs from Texas, who says, "He who controls the weather controls the world." Well, I don't really agree with that, because we would not be able to predict the weather if somebody was controlling it. So one reason we can predict the weather is because it follows predictable narratives that it does what science would expect things to interact. So that's the show for this week, everybody. Do hit like, share, and subscribe if you can. And I think that's it. I think we've lost Jenny and Mike. It's just you and me left, Brandon.
Oh, just you and me. Yes. Just going through all the pictures of the block party, because that's what we got to do. Get them all posted. There's some good pictures of me in there. Oh, yes. Serving up the coleslaw.
Is it on your Facebook page, Brandon?
It will be. I'm just putting it on our radio station's pages right now. So, as I got 100 pictures from the boss. So, here, put these pictures on.
Oh, great. Thanks for all the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Any more burger competitions? Big
Burger
Mac
competition.
eating?
Well,
Mac
speaking
eating?
of judging and competitions, this weekend actually I am judging the Smoker Wars, which is the ribs and it's not burgers, this is all ribs and oh yeah, everything, chicken, and it's going to be a feast Saturday afternoon judging.
I'm a little jealous.
Oh yeah.
Barbecue.
Well,
Good barbecue stuff.
you'd be less jealous if you knew that he judged the karaoke competition.
And then I judged
weekend.
karaoke last weekend. Yes.
So
Actually, it's good. Pretty good.
It's like all that meat wouldn't be worth it to me if I had to also judge a karaoke contest. Like, no, thank you. I'll just stay home and eat Mr. Noodles.
If you ever had that opportunity, would you judge John Candy in that movie Great Outdoors with that like that big 10 feet long steak that he ate?
Well, that's not a contest though. In terms of like it was about the amount of consumption. It wasn't about the speed. So therefore, there's less to judge there. It's just a matter of fact, did he finish it or not? And accordingly to the show, you need to finish the grizzle. Anyways, 66 times in a head. Okay, that's the show this week, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Jenny. Good to see you.
Thanks for
Come
coming on,
Yeah,
Jenny.
thanks. Have a good
Come on
night.
whenever you can, please.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have
And
to
it's
call on
been
more.
it's been awfully cool here in Winnipeg. Like it only got up to about 19 degrees today, and it's gonna be in the low 20s this week. We're not even getting that heat we want. So
Well, hopefully this
There we
weekend
go.
brings some fun.
Oh yeah.
Good luck to you all out there. We'll see you next time.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. Bye for now. I'm